Welcome back to GoldSeek TV. I'm here in Zurich with the President and CEO of Kootenay Silver, Jim McDonald. Thank you for joining us.
Yeah, great to be here, Peter.
Great to see you here with a little boost in silver prices. Well, not just a little boost. Since a year ago, we're up maybe about 50% or more in the silver prices. Gold is rocking. Our junior gold and silver stocks still haven't moved yet, but there's a lot of exciting developments with Kootenay Silver, for example. Let's talk about what's going on. Company recently got well financed. You have a very exciting project called Columba in Mexico, which is showing off some really excellent results. So let's start off with Columba, and then we can talk maybe about the other assets in the company, all the other silver assets. So yeah. Where is Columba right now? What is so amazing about this Columba project, which does not have yet a maiden silver resource, but some excellent results?
Yeah, so what's so great about it are the excellent results. It's grade and thickness. It's incredible. It's a vein district, actually. It's emerging as a brand new vein district. Never been drilled before we started drilling. We're hitting very consistently hole after hole with hits that are 5 to up to 98 meters thick. And we're hitting grades within that up to sort of 3 kilograms per ton. And significant intercepts that are 10, 11 meters, a half kilo kind of numbers. Another aspect about this is geologically, just because of the way it was formed, it's almost entirely preserved from erosion. Sits in an old volcano, barely been eroded. The veins are hardly exposed at the bottom of that volcano. So that means that whatever was deposited there originally is still there.
Mm-hmm. So right now, the company has been going through various veins, exploring, drilling. And one of the veins, particularly the D vein, seems to be just returning incredible results. So what is happening with this, specifically with this D vein? Because this is something that could potentially be tens of millions of ounces of silver resource.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, the district itself, the project itself's got that 100 million potential, maybe even multiples of that, because the physical size of the area is the size of districts that have 100, 150 to 300 million ounces in them, more advanced districts than we have. So it's got that scope. And now when you get into these vein districts, very classic of them, you will have 1, 2, maybe 3 key structures that will hold the vast majority of all the ounces in the district. And those key structures make everything else work, because you'll find lots of smaller stuff scattered around all over the place. But you get those key structures that hold the vast majority of everything. And the D vein is going to be one of those for us. We're pretty sure, because we've taken that in this drill program from 450 meters of length, consistent hits, to 1,200 meters just in this program. And right across at the far end, we've got an intercept of 98 meters of over 200 grams, 98 meters. And inside that was almost 40 meters of 358 grams per ton.
So good grades, good widths. It looks like it's continuous.
Yeah.
It's not just fragmented, nuggety effect.
Yeah, very continuous. That's kind of the earmark of that vein, the one that was historically mined. Also very continuous. It's not as thick or as high a grade in general as the D vein, but consistent hits over 700 meters of length there, still open to depth at over 250 meters deep. And
still a lot to look where this thing ends. So when do you make a decision to look at the data that you have already and put out your first maiden resource?
Yeah, at the beginning of the year, we had 30,000 meters drilled already, 147 holes. At the end of this program, we're adding 20,000 meters. We're drilling 20,000 meters this program. We're 12,000 meters into it now. So at the end of that, we'll have 50,000 meters of drilling. We'll have over 200 holes. It's probably going to be enough for a maiden resource. We'll have a look at it. That's our expectation. And then we'd like to put out a maiden resource if everything's hitting and looking strong. We'd like to put something out that's going to be sort of 50 million ounces or better as a starting point.
Mm-hmm. So potential for a nice initial large initial silver resource of 50 million plus ounces. As you said, potential for this to be 100 million or multiples of that.
Yeah, a lot bigger. This could be a really big district. It's got so much going for it.
So the plan is you continue to keep drilling away, keep defining the veins, and just keep adding value through the drill bit.
Yeah.
So Kootenay Silver has a beautiful project here, but this is not the only project. Combined with other projects which do have resources on it. Again, you still don't have your resource on this. You have, I believe, it was around 200 million plus in the actual category of
measured, indicated,
and measured and indicated, and then the inferred had another some 50 some million ounces.
Yeah, 54.9.
Okay, so you're looking way over 250 million ounces of silver between those two categories.
Yeah,
plus this coming in, that's a lot of silver for any silver company, but for a junior, you have quite a large leveraged silver price, I imagine, with these resources. So, what is the breakdown of the other assets in the company which help comprise of these hundreds of other millions of ounces of silver?
So the Columba doesn't even have a resource on it yet, and that's what we're heading for. The high grade works at any silver price. The other three deposits are La Negra, Promontorio, and La Ceguera. They comprise that 214 million ounces of measured indicated silver equivalent ounces. So we last year updated the resource reports in all three deposits. First of all, La Negra didn't have a resource on it. And then on the La Ceguera, we remodeled it, the geology, and we realized that the old resource was diluting the grade. We got a big grade bump from 85 grams to 102 grams in an open pit configuration. So we've just set those projects up to be advanced or sold or partnered when we get it well into the silver bull market and we can get fair value for them.
So the focus of the company is to create a vehicle for silver investors to participate in a exciting silver bull market. You're really leveraging the silver price. Obviously, that many millions of ounces with silver price moving $1 an ounce, that changes the valuations quite a bit. What is the current market capitalization of the company?
We're at about 72 million Canadian right now.
Yeah. And if you were to assume that the silver price is going to stick at these levels, say it goes up to $40 to $50 an ounce, what would you do in that case with the other current silver projects? Can you go and remodel some of the lower grade material? Like, what is the potential to even just grow the resources from a higher silver price?
Yeah, the other deposits, they're all open to expansion, especially La Ceguera. It's in a district where they're mining at a 2,000 meter depth, and that deposit sits at surface. So there's a lot of room for it to grow bigger. And just paper analysis above $30, it starts to look pretty interesting. So when we get well into the silver market, and if it's doing what we all believe it's going to do and be breaking that $40 and higher, then that project needs a couple of things, more drilling and get a PEA out. And so those would be the next logical steps there. And then the other two assets, La Negra looks quite attractive. It'd be a really good project, we think, for a small producer. Excellent grade for an open pit and simple metallurgy. So, we've got those projects ready to move when the silver market is more developed.
And the silver price with the gold price, the whole sector has been depressed since we peaked in 2011. We've had these little periods where it's been okay. But the majors haven't really done much to replenish those reserves. There's been not that many big silver discoveries either. So it seems like the availability of silver projects out there is quite limited to go develop. If the silver price were to go way up, it's not something that you can just, go out there all of a sudden and start mining. It takes a lot of time, obviously, to develop this, but there's very few assets out there. So I would imagine Kootenay is sitting in a quite interesting position in that case.
Yeah, well, we agree with that statement. I mean, you've said it.
Do you have majors? Or are there other larger silver mining companies that are starting to sniff around? Or what's happening in with this? There isn't that many silver companies even out there anymore. It seems very, very small, this sector, and not that many companies out there.
Well, that's true. So companies are well aware of what the results we're putting out in Columba is pretty well watched, I'd say. And so, you know, well, it's about all I can say with regard to that at the moment. But that kind of project is always going to garner attention.
And obviously here we have Columba is really starting to grow, so that I imagine as that develops more and more, that's going to get more attention. But first, for investors, you have portfolio of silver projects, defining more and more silver ounces, leverage to silver price. I can't imagine what that now will equate to with this new resource, how many ounces of silver per share, but it's looking quite interesting. So
yeah, it's building.
it's building. So
great.
we're looking forward to the updated results here,
Yeah.
and we'll follow back up with how
All right.
those look. Thank you, Jim.
Good. Thanks, Peter.